These are the Comic Kings.
Yep, Charlamagne the God.
Gabe P.
We are the Comic Kings. Sorry, man, that we be making y'all wait so long, but I'm busy. Gabe's
It's all good.
busy.
Yeah, you gotta.
You know.
You on the shop.
Yeah, shop was cool.
You doing all this other stuff. It's great. It's busy.
We all working, man. You know, and it's good though because when we do get to sit down, we got a lot to talk about.
And we do have a lot to talk about. I know a lot of people have been hitting me up asking us to talk about this. I don't even know where to start. Shall we talk about Spider-Man?
Yeah. I'm not too concerned.
Really?
Well, explain to people what happened first of all, for those who may not know.
I don't even know what happened because there's so many different moving parts to this. Basically, like 2 weeks ago, it was reported that Sony and Disney are no longer going to be working together on the Spider-Man movies.
Yep.
And there were varying reports about how Disney wanted 50% of the future Spider-Man movies' profits, and Sony was like, no, and then they said they lowered it to 30%, and then Sony just left that offer on the table for months past Spider-Man Far From Home's release, and now we're in this, I guess you could say, a constant state of limbo on the future of Spider-Man.
I'm not mad at Disney trying to restructure the deal. When the last Spider-Man made over $1 billion, and you know Disney is handling all the creative, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe they are handling all the creative.
So the creative is what has made the new Tom Holland version of Spider-Man be the dope-ass franchise that it is. So when you say creative, you're bringing a lot to the table. I don't know what the deal was prior, you know, but I mean 50-50 sounds about accurate to me. And I would think that going forward, if you know that you have a franchise that can gross $1 billion plus of film, why wouldn't you want a 50-50 deal? And I'm not mad at Sony for saying, hell no, that's not what we agreed to.
Me neither.
Either.
I get that 100%.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, they own the rights to make these Spider-Man movies. So it's kind of like if someone was just like, it's your shit, but we want to take half the profits from it.
Yeah, I mean, the problem I have with that is a lot of times executives don't realize how important creatives are. Like, you know, nothing moves without creatives. You know, I have, I got agents, and, you know, sometimes I have projects that I really want to do, and I'll fall in love with certain writers of these projects. And, you know, sometimes you'll talk to these agents, and I've actually, you know, balked on agents for stuff like this. You'll talk to them, and they'll act like any writer can write anything.
Right.
Which isn't the truth. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes you have somebody who specializes in cooking up something the right way. Like they're the perfect chef for it. And I think that Disney, Kevin Feige, is the perfect chef for what they're attempting to do with Spider-Man. For not what they're attempting to do, what they're doing with Spider-Man.
What they did with Spider-Man.
What they did, yeah.
And he loves Spider-Man. And it was it took me out when Sony Pictures, that night that everything broke, they released like a statement on Twitter, and they basically said that Kevin Feige, this is why so many things are going around, because they're saying one thing and then they'll say another thing. But in that statement, they were basically like, Kevin Feige doesn't have enough time to work on Spider-Man because of now the fact that Marvel has all these X-Men and Fantastic Four properties, which I think is complete bullshit, because if you realize, like, he has said Spider-Man is his favorite character.
Yes.
So why wouldn't he take the time why would he say that he's too busy to work on all these, on the future of Spider-Man instead of, you know, the X-Men and stuff like that?
How long has Kevin Feige been with Marvel?
Since Iron Man. And he's also produced on past Fox, like early X-Men movies.
So you telling me that a man who was the captain of the ship for the past decade,
still the captain of the ship,
and had all of these different characters that he, you know, made intertwine effortlessly and seamlessly, why would you think giving him more toys to play with would disrupt his creative flow in any way, shape, or form? This guy literally took so many B and C characters and created this multiverse that's amazing. Now you got access to the A-list characters, and you think it's gonna fuck it up? You think he's gonna fuck it up? Like it's like the equivalent of, you know, a slave. I don't want to say equivalent, but back in the day when you had slaves that would take pork and take the worst parts of the pig and create the best soul food. So what you think's gonna happen when you give him access to the good shit? Come on, man, stop it.
And that's what gets me so upset about this. Because if you look at the next 2 years alone, we have 5 movies and like 10 TV shows.
Can't wait.
Like they went from 1 movie a year to 2 movies a year to 3 movies a year to now. You won't be able to go a single month in the coming years without having something Marvel related to whet your palate.
I'm fine with that. And the reason I'm fine with that is because, you know, I still go to the store and I buy comic books, but I realize something. I go to the store and I buy comic books and I have like a bag of like 10 books and I don't get to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it bothers me. Like, I literally got a bag of books that I bought like 2-3 weeks ago. New Black Panther, new Ironheart stuff, but I haven't even got to read it yet. And it bothers me. But I realize I think I like the visuals more now. You understand what I'm saying? Even if it's an animated movie, even if it's a live action movie, I like watching the Marvel universe play out.
Unfold,
So now that you're giving me Disney Plus and you're giving me access to all these TV shows and movies, woo! I wonder how that's going to affect the comic book world.
I think it's cool because I think Disney's doing something different that, Netflix drops all their shows at once, right? They drop all the episodes at once.
I heard they're about to stop doing that.
They are. They're going to stop doing that too. But I think it's also directly related to Disney because Disney said that they're only doing episodes one by one because they're dropping a new Star Wars TV show with the platform release, and they said that one episode a week comes out, which I think it's perfect because I don't know about you, but I feel sitting down to watch a whole season of a show in one day. It was like when Luke Cage and Daredevil came out. I felt all this pressure to finish the show in one day and then go talk about it with people. But now we don't got to do that. Now we can watch it week by week. The show lasts longer. You know what I'm saying? The Loki show comes out. Let's say Loki show comes out in like February. By the time that the show's over, we're already in like March or April, and then boom, new Marvel movie. And I think it just prolongs the lifespan of like the content that we're going to be able to consume throughout the year.
Yeah, I wonder about binge watching. I often feel like same thing with the comic books. Like, binge watching makes me feel like, okay, I'll get to it when I get to it.
Yeah.
Like, it's all going to be there. I'll sit down and watch it, and you never find yourself getting to it. Like, I haven't seen the new season of Orange is the New Black.
I haven't seen that either, yeah.
I don't think I ever got through the whole Iron Fist. You know what I'm saying? Like, I watched a couple episodes, and I was like,
Well, Iron Fist wasn't that great.
Exactly. So it didn't keep my
Iron
attention.
Fist wasn't a good show at all.
If I really like something, I'll plow my way through it. But I don't know. I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm gonna be there. I don't mind appointment television too. There's something about appointment TV that's good as well.
I think appointment TV is great, especially because now like every week we can we'll watch the show and the next day you'll be able to talk about it and speculate and it's a smart move on Marvel's behalf because now you're gonna have people talking about you every single week instead of yo, Endgame dropped. All right, now we're in this year time period of where we don't get a Marvel movie or TV show until Black Widow. And we're kind of this is the most relevant thing to talk about Spider-Man because of obviously everything that's happening. And I don't know if you heard, but yesterday there was I think one of their chief executives over at Sony made a comment about about this whole thing, and he basically said, I'll read it. He said, "We had a great run with Kevin Feige on our Spider-Man movies. We tried to see if there's a way to work it out. The Marvel people are terrific people. We have a great respect for them, but on the other hand, we have some pretty terrific people of our own. Kevin didn't do all the work."
Listen, we know Kevin didn't do all the work, but Kevin played a huge role in it. That's like saying Michael Jordan didn't do all the work. We know he didn't.
Yeah.
But he still was.
He still was the architect, the mastermind behind your new Spider-Man.
He's the straw that stirs the drink, bruh.
He got Iron Man in your movie.
Yes.
He got Nick Fury in your movie.
Yes.
He got Maria Hill in your movie. He got the Skrulls in your movie.
Listen,
God damn it.
Spider-Man is whack. The movie version of Spider-Man is dope, but it would be totally whack if they didn't have the Iron Man Jr. angle.
But wait, you ready for the kicker, right? He said Spider-Man was fine before the events of the MCU.
No, he wasn't.
Did better with the events of the movies, and now we have our own universe. He will play off other characters as well. I think we're pretty capable of doing that, of doing what we have to do here.
No.
Nah,
bro.
Nah.
I don't agree with none of that.
Y'all really did not watch Venom 2, huh?
Nah.
I mean, Venom 1.
Venom 1 was trash.
Venom was garbage.
Yo, I can't even watch Venom 1 on the plane.
You fell asleep during Venom?
I can't. Yo, by the way, Venom, a lot, and you can take my black card for this, but I can never watch Scarface all the way through. I always fall asleep during Scarface, and I catch it in parts. I'm not a big Scarface guy. I was a New Jack City guy. But with Venom, it's the same thing. Every time I sit down and try to watch Venom, I go to my phone. I'm on the plane. I'm falling asleep. I can't do it. So
it doesn't have a good villain.
Nope.
I do like Tom Hardy. I do think there are some cool scenes when he goes mask on and then Venom comes. The visuals are cool. Everything else about the movie's trash. The girlfriend, the soulless symbiote villains. I just was just like, if you're gonna do a good Venom movie, just do it with Spider-Man. And now they're gonna have the Morbius movie with Jared Leto, which I'm not mad about, but I'm not gonna go see.
Jared Leto playing Joker.
Well, he's playing Morbius now.
What the fuck?
And Morbius is like the vampire thing. And here's my thing: is like if they had structured this deal, it would have been so cool if like somehow they could have worked out a way where Venom could have been in the MCU, Morbius could have been in the MCU. They have Blade coming up. Maybe could have gotten a Blade versus Morbius with a little Spider-Man in there. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many ways that they could have brought this deal forward, and now we're stuck with this. Now we're gonna have to watch.
Well, no, I don't.
We're not stuck with it yet.
I think the deal's gonna happen. I read an article on Variety yesterday where the Sony Pictures chief said, "For the moment, the door is closed." It's just egos at play right now.
I agree.
That's literally all it is. It's all ego, because even Kevin Feige and Disney have to ask themselves, "Do we really want?" Because if you Kevin Feige, right, it's kind of like the story in the Bible where I can't remember, it was the two women. And they had the baby, and one was saying the baby was dead, and the other one was saying the baby was dead. And it was like, okay, let's split the baby in half. And God, one of the ladies started crying. I was like, no, well, let her have the baby. And he realized, okay, that's the mom.
Yeah.
Because the mom cared, you know, like in that way. It's the same thing with this. Kevin Feige, if he loves Spider-Man the way that you say you love Spider-Man, and you don't want Sony to fuck Spider-Man up the way you know they're going to fuck Spider-Man up, then you say, all right, let's compromise.
And like you see what happened on Twitter. You saw what happened on Twitter.
Absolutely.
Like the amount of people who saying they're not going to go see Sony movies
Absolutely.
now. They're not going to go see Morbius. Sony cannot make $1 billion Spider-Man movie without Kevin Feige and Marvel.
Sony needs to give Marvel Venom as well.
And yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, don't fuck up the Spider-Verse. The Spider-Verse is a great universe. You're talking about Miles Morales in the future. You're talking about, Spider-Gwen. You know what I mean? Like, you're talking about all of these dope-ass characters.
All the villains.
Like, yo, and then look at the cliffhanger they left us with the last Spider-Man movie. Like, nah, I don't want to see Sony pick that up.
And they said that they were gonna that this movie was gonna have big repercussions for Spider-Man in the MCU. And even Kevin Feige was talking about how excited he was for the future of Spider-Man to do another movie.
Yep.
And then this news came out, which also makes me just think that like even their comments, like Feige's comments about not doing, we've done 5 great movies, this was never meant to last, and Tom Holland's comments about how we're still gonna find ways to make Spider-Man. I think it's all just really good. They have really good PR people.
Yeah.
They have really good PR people writing these comments for them, because if you look at it, the only people who are opening their mouths about the Spider-Man stuff is people from Sony.
Absolutely.
People from Disney have not said a single word on it.
Because people from Disney know that this deal is going to get worked out. And I think people from Disney know Sony needs us as much as... No, Sony needs us more than we need them, because Marvel and Disney have the universe.
Mm-hmm.
How can... Especially in this era. Think about this. How could Spider-Man exist in a separate universe when Marvel and Disney have everybody?
Literally everybody now.
Every fucking body. How are you going to be able to create dope-ass Spider-Man movies in a world where we got X-Men, in a world where we got Fantastic Four, in a world where we got Avengers, in a world where we got Wakanda? Like, how?
They should have made Kraven the Hunter from Wakanda. Come on, these are golden ideas here.
Yeah.
Like, think about it 5, 6 years from now. We got our X-Men movie. We have our Fantastic Four. We have our new Avengers movie. We have an Avengers versus X-Men movie. And then Spider-Man's just off on the side in a Spider-Man versus the Black Cat movie.
And don't fuck it up, Sony. Don't think that you can get this Spider-Man shit off and then you do and make a whack-ass film that we got to discard and act like it didn't exist, and then y'all come crawling back to Marvel and Disney with your motherfucking tail between your legs, all right? And your nuts in your hands. Don't do that. Because that easily could happen.
And that's exactly what's going to happen, because you guys, like, I have no problem with the animated movies. Into the Spider-Verse was beautiful.
Dope.
Into the Spider-Verse was a beautiful movie.
Dope.
I want more. I want sequels. I want spin-offs of that. That's dope. You could have made a whole franchise off of that. And I understand it's like the least grossing Spider-Man movie ever released.
I thought it did over 100 million.
Yeah, but like compared to all the other Spider-Man movies, it wasn't. But just stick with that. You have a good formula there. Let Marvel, let Disney handle the movie side, put all that stuff in the MCU, and everybody's happy, because at the end of the day, 5 years from now, you're going to have Deadpool playing around with the Avengers.
Yes.
You're going to have X-Men. You're going to have Fantastic Four. You're going to have Hulk still around because he still got money on his contract. You're going to have Hawkeye still around. You're going to have Thor still around. You're going to have all these people still around, still wanting to play superheroes, and you're just going to take Spider-Man away.
You don't want Deadpool flirting with Spider-Man, bruh?
That's like,
What the fuck?
You have ever read the Deadpool comic?
Yes.
I have the Deadpool and Spider-Man comic with a paid in full hip-hop variant cover.
I remember that.
And that,
I think I got that too.
that little solo run was like one of my favorite comic books to read like 4 or 5 years ago because it was just so funny.
I do have that. Salute to my guy Chris Robinson at Marvel. He gave me a bunch of the variant covers. I do have that one. Was it paid in full?
It was paid in full.
Paid in full.
It was paid in full. Yeah,
it was paid in full. I was thinking it was. I thought it was the one where they was sitting down with their backs turned, but no, it was paid in full.
Yeah, it was paid in full. It was paid in full. But yeah, like how could you not want that? Ryan Reynolds flirting with Tom Holland.
Come on, man. People talk about all of this diversity and inclusion in the Marvel universe. It's been there.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Deadpool is as gender fluid as they come.
Yeah.
Like, so why wouldn't you want him flirting with Spider-Man?
I think that would be funny.
Absolutely.
But also, apparently, Sony has 5 or 6 Spider-Man TV shows in the works. And originally, I had heard that
Sony has 5 or 6 TV shows?
like Spider-Man TV shows, like Spider-Man-based TV shows in the work. And I originally heard that Marvel owned the rights to the TV show, so Disney would have to ask for permission. But I think when it comes to live-action TV shows that are over 45 minutes long, it's fair game for Sony to do what they want. So look out for some new amazing Spider-Man Sony TV shows coming to a streaming platform near you.
Boo!
But
what else we got?
Speaking of TV shows, did you hear about the stuff from D23 the other week?
Yeah.
All right, so we got She-Hulk, we got Miss Marvel, and we got Moon Knight.
Yeah.
What are you excited about the most? Let's talk about it.
She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. The reason I'm excited about She-Hulk and Miss Marvel is because, and I said it on Comic Kings before, and I even think I said it on Brilliant Idiots. My small critiques of Avengers Endgame. One of them was that scene where Captain Marvel comes back through the atmosphere. She wrecks Thanos' ship.
Yep.
She sits down with Spider-Man. She asks for Spider-Man to give her the gauntlet. Spider-Man's like, I don't know how you're going to get through that, which I think is a stupid-ass line because she's literally the strongest superhero in the Marvel Universe.
But in all fairness, he never met her before. In all fairness, this is like the first time they
That's
met.
true.
But he did just watch her destroy the entire ship.
You just watched her run through a whole ship, right? And then for them, it's like, oh, don't worry, she got backup, as if she needed it. And then it's like this cast of women, right? And in that scene, I know everybody was, oh yes, female empowerment. What I saw was the fact that Marvel has so neglected their female characters that this is like such a weak squad compared to what it could be. You understand what I'm saying?
I do understand what you're saying.
It's not a knock to any of those women because they're good. Some of them are good characters in their roles. You know what I mean?
In their movies.
Yeah. But I'm talking about when you think of the Captain Marvels, when you think of the
Storms of the world,
the Storms, the She-Hulks, the Miss Marvels, the Jean Greys, Scarlet Witch is good.
Scarlet Witch is good. She's gonna get better.
The Rogues,
the Rogues.
You know, what's the black girl? Monica Rambeau. When she played, I think her character's called Spectrum or something like that.
Yeah, but she was the first Captain Marvel, I think. She was the first female Captain Marvel, and then they changed her name in the comics.
I think. I'm not sure.
Comics. Anyway, but I'm just saying, it's coming.
It shows how much they have neglected the female characters.
I agree.
In Marvel. So now when you have Captain Marvel coming, Monica Rambeau is going to be in the Scarlet Witch WandaVision TV show. You have
She-Hulk,
Miss Marvel. You have She-Hulk.
You're going to have Storm and Jean Grey down the line again.
You're going to have Storm and Jean Grey down the line.
You know,
and
Kevin
Rogue.
Feige not going. You know, he going to make sure those characters are good.
Now you can make a real A-team.
Yes, a nice solid A-Force movie.
A-Force. Now you can really do the A-Force the right way. You know?
I agree.
So that's why I'm excited. I'm excited about the She-Hulk and Miss Marvel. And I'm even more excited about that is because of the fact that Monica Rambeau is going to be on the Scarlet Witch show.
Yes.
And if you've been watching Scarlet Witch in the MCU, you know she ain't no joke.
Yeah.
She was fucking Thanos up by herself.
And if he didn't do the
rain fire,
she was going to kill his ass.
Absolutely.
And I think that in this show, they said that this is her WandaVision show is going to be the first time that they refer to her as a Scarlet Witch in the MCU. And if you see in the poster that they released for, like the little concept art in the background, she has her helmet on, like in the shadow, like her classic helmet. So maybe we're finally going to get that. And then she's going to be in Doctor Strange too.
She's going to be in Doctor Strange too.
So I think she's going to be very important moving forward.
I mean, the ill part about Doctor Strange is called, what's it called? Into the Multiverse?
Yes. Into the Multiverse.
I think that's when we're going to get our first glimpse of mutants. Because the only way that it's going to make sense to bring the X-Men
is if they make her the first. They're going to retcon her to be the first official mutant in the MCU. That's what I think they're going to do. I don't know about you, but that's where my head's at.
I'm not sure. I just think that the multiverse, like the X-Men existed in another universe.
Yes.
That's the only way you can bring all of these worlds together. So with her being in Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse, I think that's what it's going to lead to. The fact that there are mutants that exist in this whole other world, Earth, whatever. They've been here, they've been there the whole time, and I think that they're going to start with a whole new storyline. Because if let's just say Galactus is the big bad villain for the next phase, and Galactus goes around eating planets. Galactus is going to go around eating planets in various universes. You understand what I'm saying?
I see what you're saying.
So if he's going around eating planets in various multiverses,
maybe he's a multiverse threat instead of just like a universe.
Absolutely.
I see what you're getting at there. I like where your head's at.
Now the X-Men have to come together with the Avengers
and the Fantastic Four.
To protect the whole.
You got the Eternals
multiverse.
now.
Absolutely.
And you know what's cool about that? And I'm gonna go back to She-Hulk in a second, but to piggyback off Miss Marvel and why I like Miss Marvel is because Miss Marvel in the comics is an Inhuman. So I think what they're gonna do now is like, you know, we have our heroes. You know what I'm saying? We have like, you know, you have your Guardians of the Galaxy, you have your Hawkeyes, your Thors, your Hulks. But now I think they're really gonna put an emphasis on having all these different types of subgroups in the MCU. So you're gonna have the X-Men, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna have that type of people, right? You're gonna have the Eternals, which is a group of people, which they're still gonna announce more people. I heard that to be in the movie, and then you're also gonna have, I think, the Inhumans. I think that, you know, the Inhumans TV show from 2-3 years ago, horrible.
Garbage.
The worst show ever.
Garbage.
But in like 3 or 4 years from now, you know, maybe depending how this Miss Marvel show goes, maybe they're going to have her as a mutant, but I think they're going to actually make sure that she is an Inhuman. I think she's going to be the start point to introduce an MCU proper version of the Inhuman royal family.
Yeah, that's another great female character, Medusa.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just so much they can do, and it's going to be dope because Marvel is finally putting the emphasis on their female characters, but they got access to a lot of them.
Right.
So I think it's just that's just going to make the MCU that much doper.
And She-Hulk is such a great story, too, because she's the cousin of Bruce Banner.
Yep.
Mark Ruffalo still has, I think, movies left on his contract. I think it's like him and Jeremy Renner were the only ones left with like 1 or 2 movies left on their contract after Endgame. So I think this is the perfect way to kind of bring him back in, you know, put him in the She-Hulk show.
He got to go back mad, though.
He got to go back
in the comics,
mad.
though, Professor Hulk does go back fucking mad at one point.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I feel like with these characters, they change them around all the time. You know, even in the like 8-9 movies we saw Robert Downey Jr. and, you know, his character switched up a lot. I don't think it's too far-fetched to think that by the time She-Hulk rolled around that he could, you know, split. Maybe he'll be part of the story. Because at the end of the day, like, she becomes She-Hulk because I think he donates blood to her because she's dying. I forgot the exact origin story, so don't quote me on that. But I do know that he donates blood to her, and then obviously, you know, she takes the injection and whatnot, and then she becomes She-Hulk.
All right.
So I think that'll be a cool way to kind of tie in the Hulk and keep Mark Ruffalo around because, you know, he loves being the Hulk. So I think that'll be a cool way to keep him around, and that'll be a good show. And plus, I think everybody who doesn't get a movie is just going to get a Disney Plus show at this point.
I love how Marvel is making us have to subscribe to Disney Plus. Like,
I ain't mad at it, by the way.
I'm not mad at it either. If you're a Marvel head and you've watched every movie over the last 10 years, you haven't missed one, and you know how all of them intertwine, you gotta go get the Disney Plus streaming service.
But you want to know what? I think the show I'm most excited for on the Disney streaming service is the What If show. Have you seen some of the pictures from it?
I saw the one where
T'Challa, Star-Lord.
Oh no, I saw Captain America as a zombie.
Captain America's. There was one where it's Peggy as Cap.
Peggy as Cap.
Cap as
a zombie.
Cap as a zombie.
I didn't see that T'Challa was Star-Lord.
There is one where T'Challa is Star-Lord.
Wow.
There's one. Let me see if I can find it. There's one where Peggy is riding on the back of Captain America, who built like an Iron Man suit. And then what else is there? And I heard Tom Holland will be back for the What If series because it's one for every movie.
So what? When does that start?
So that comes out, I think, next year.
So what's the first one that's coming out?
So the first series to come out is going to be The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Next fall, and then it's going to be it's WandaVision, then it's Loki, and then it's What If, and then it's Hawkeye, and then She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Miss Marvel haven't gotten release dates yet. But in 2021, we're getting 1, 2, 3, 4 series, and then next year we're just getting Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, hold on. Let me see if I find T'Challa as Star-Lord.
I'm here for it.
Lord. There's a picture. T'Challa as Star-Lord.
Wow.
And there's another picture where he has the mask on. But that's why I'm so excited about it, because it'll be cool to see like how in a different universe, like, all these situations would have played out.
Yeah, it's just funny. I mean, it's just fun. Like, that's for the nerd. That's really for the nerd.
That's really just for us. I don't know how that's supposed to, like, connect to the overarching plot of the next phase.
I don't think it will.
I don't think it will either.
Yeah, I think it's just some fun shit to do.
I think it's cool because they have the Watcher is going to be very important to that series because the Watcher is going to be the guy who's narrating it, and it's the guy who's narrating it is from Westworld.
Okay.
So I think that maybe that show will be a good way for the Watcher to become important to the rest of the MCU. Maybe that'll be the how they introduced the Watcher to the audience. So when you see the Watcher pop up in future Marvel movies, it's not just a weird experience, and you understand what's happening.
And I'm interested in seeing the Falcon Winter Soldier too. And the reason I'm interested in seeing Falcon Winter Soldier is because, Falcon got to get some serum or something. He got to get some super serum. Like, for real, like, you can't be Captain America
What?
and not have, like, powers.
Well, he's got the wings. I think that's fine.
Sam Rogers don't have wings in the comic books when he's Captain America.
That's true. No, wait, he does have wings.
No, he doesn't.
Well, he's the Falcon and Captain America. It's like his costume in the comics is literally just Falcon, Captain America.
No.
Yes, he has wings in the comics. So there's a whole scene where he's flying. Like, the most vivid scene to me in the comics is he's flying and Miles Morales is, like, hanging on to him. He's going to have the wings no matter what. And that's important.
I need him to have superpowers. I'm dead serious. Like, I just don't think he's. I don't think he's strong enough in the MCU.
I think Anthony Mackie is perfectly fine with just having the suit and the wings.
Does Captain America have wings to Sam Rogers? I don't remember that.
Not Sam Rogers.
Not Sam Rogers. Fucking
Sam Wilson.
Sam Wilson.
No, he does have the wings.
Oh.
Go ahead, look it up.
Oh, let me see.
Sam Wilson, Captain America wings.
I said Sam Rogers. Sam Wilson, Captain America. He does have the wings.
He does have the wings. See?
Not an. Oh, yeah, he does.
He does.
He does.
Hold on a little bit.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, he does.
He does have the fucking wings.
You don't like the wings?
Nah.
Come on,
bro.
man. The wings are cool. He's Falcon.
That's another scene I hated in Endgame when he just
come
flew
on
in
now, stop.
and stabbed that beast in the
That
chest.
was cool.
You got beat up by Ant-Man. All of a sudden you can kill aliens with your wings. Stop it, Marvel.
No, I really like that though. Come on, that series is gonna be dope because then it would be a cool way to maybe they'll introduce some new characters and you'll have Zemo.
They have to.
And you'll have Zemo coming back.
Yeah.
So that's a good little way to maybe bring in the Masters of Evil one day, or the Thunderbolts movie that we heard that was rumored. And then they also announced Black Panther 2, which is very far away.
I'm not mad at that though, because we think that's far away, but it's not.
I think it's good because it gives the actors a break. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Instead of having Tom Holland, where Tom Holland was in a Spider-Man movie every year for like 4 years straight. Someone like Chadwick Boseman, he does other films. He does a lot of other movies. Benedict Cumberbatch does a lot of other movies. So I think it gives them a nice break from being in the MCU to kind of like do their other stuff and then come back.
And I want to know what they're going to do with the world of Wakanda in the meantime. Like, where are they going to pop up at in the MCU over the next couple of years?
I know we've talked about it a lot, but I really still think that I heard that they were casting for I don't know if it was for Black Panther 2, but they were looking for
Namor.
They're basically someone like Namor. It's like a ruler of an ancient kingdom.
Yeah.
So I'm still very, 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 very convinced that Namor is going to be in Black Panther 2.
They gave us the Easter egg in Endgame.
Yeah, with the
it's an earthquake under the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah.
Like, how you gonna handle it? We gonna handle it by not handling it.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited. It's just that it's kind of far away, and I was hoping it would be sooner. But I like how the next phase of the MCU, Disney Plus included, is all very new territory and new stuff, and they're not just throwing, oh, here's Guardians 3, here's Black Panther 2, here's Captain. Not, it's new shit to look at and new shit to watch, and I think Phase 5 will be a lot of the here are our heavy hitters and here's our team up movie, and we're gonna go from here, and then Disney Plus will continue to get new series. And I heard that I heard a rumor. It's a very, very, very light rumor that they're developing a Riri Williams series for Disney Plus.
Ironheart?
Yeah.
I'm
very
all for
light
that.
rumor. Very light rumor. But I think that would be a good way. I think that's just the best way to introduce all the young kids and then have them all come together in like a Young Avengers movie or something.
I'm trying to figure
nature.
out how that would go though, because
well, they're gonna have
Tom Holland is like
he's supposed to be the leader.
Yeah, and but Tom Holland is the protege of Iron Man in the comics. Like, how do you flip that? I mean, not in the comics, in the movie. So how do you flip that? Because in the comics, Riri's the protege of Tony Stark.
I guess, my friend, I was talking to my friend about this last night. He made a really good point. He said, if you really think about it, Spider-Man doesn't exist out of Phase 3 of the MCU. Captain America Civil War was Phase 3. Obviously, the two Avengers movies are Phase 3, and his movies were Phase 3. So I guess if you really want to just kind of disassociate Tom Holland from everything else if they don't keep him in. You can, because now everything's just going to continue to be different. Everything's going to continue to grow, and he never really existed existed outside of Phase 3 anyway.
And we're bugging too though, because you got the multiverse now.
Mm-hmm.
So now that you have the multiverse, you could do literally whatever the fuck you want. You can start a whole new origin story on another planet with a different Tony Starks that.
I don't know. They're gonna have a new Tony. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if they brought in a new Tony Stark.
You could though. Like,
I'm still a firm believer that one day that they're both gonna, that either Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans will come back to a movie. I don't know in what way or what form. If it'll be if Kang the Conqueror is a future villain, the time travel villain, I think that will definitely get Chris Evans coming back. But I don't know. There was also a very light rumor that Robert Downey Jr. would be the voice of Riri Williams' AI, but that was like a Twitter rumor.
But see, here's the thing. In the comic books, he is the voice of Riri's AI. So if you did do something from a multiverse, you don't have to explain Iron Man's origin story. All you got to do is say he died in this universe and he became Riri's AI. That's it. We know Tony Stark's already.
Yeah.
So he don't he don't have to make an appearance. You can just do the fucking hologram and have Robert Downey Jr. do voiceovers. If you wanted to.
Just the voiceovers. I don't think he'll even want to do a hologram.
That's it.
He's got so much money. He got paid $75 million just for Endgame.
You can do they can do the hologram with anything. They can just make him, just have him do the voiceovers for this shit.
Yeah.
Shit could work. Now that you got the multiverse, you literally could create any origin story you want, because they're all going to end up coming back together, whether it's with Kang the Conqueror or Galactus. Either one of them work for the multiverse.
Yeah, either one of them could be the big villain of the. I think that they'll be able to keep coming up with new big villains every 10 years at this point. This shit's going to go on forever. I'm really excited to see what comes next. I'm really excited for all these new Disney Plus shows. The Spider-Man news sucks, but I've been hearing that negotiations are still ongoing, and that Sony's just saying what they're saying just to get everybody upset and to kind of put more pressure on Disney for whatever reason, whether it be Sony wants more money, wants to have more financial control of the movies, more creative control, whatever it is. But please keep Spider-Man in the MCU. I really don't want to see him fight Venom, Tom Hardy's Venom.
Absolutely
At
not.
this point, I'm good.
Absolutely
You can't give me such great villains in Vulture and Mysterio and then expect me to accept Venom as the next villain of this movie, who has no connection to anything. And they can't even say anything. If they do another Spider-Man movie, they're not allowed to say anything that happened in the first two.
That's
legally.
Stupid as fuck.
You can't reference Tony Stark. You can't reference Endgame. He can't reference going to space. He's going to have new suits. The Iron Spider suit will be gone. And it makes no sense.
Sony.
It makes no sense. Sony, just do the right thing.
Marvel, Disney, y'all fucked. Y'all had kids. You cannot just walk out on each other at this point. Y'all are stuck together whether y'all want to be or not. Make it work.
It's always the kids who get hurt in the divorce.
Absolutely.
And that's us. So please make a deal, for the love of God.
Word.
Anyway, this has been Comic Kings.
We should do another one next week too, because there's a lot of stuff I want to catch up. I like the YouTube rumors. I like the. Yeah,
let's hit some of the YouTube rumors next week. Yeah, we'll come back. Comic-Con is coming to New York in a few weeks. I'm going to be there.
Okay.
So we can do some stuff around that.
What's the date?
I think it's October. It's the first weekend of October. I think October 2nd to October 5th.
Okay.
New York Comic-Con's coming, so I'm definitely going to try to do some stuff from there. Maybe we'll get some cool Marvel stuff.
Let's do it.
But yeah, so we'll catch you next time.
All right.
Comic Kings.